Hello everyone, spooky welcomes for another Halloween episode. So, what game do we have for you at the moment? Well, it's apparently based on the poem of the Ballad of Flannan Isle, which I have not read. No awareness at all. And the game is Darkfall 2 Lights Out. Yes, you might remember we have played Darkfall the Journal a couple of times, although I've never actually finished it, either on recordings or in real life, but I thought I'd take Darkfall 2, look at Darkfall 2. Now notably with this one, I have never played this. This is actually the first time, so you're getting my first playthrough and my first experience of this game, sort of a live reaction. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to set myself a bit of a timer just to make sure I'm not absolutely crazy. It's usually good just to keep my stopwatch timer, just so I know what I'm doing. But I will generally try to keep this to about half an hour and see where I get to, or until I get to a point where I'm stuck. But let's start a new game, see where we won't go for the director's cut, I think. It will be the director's cut. I don't know. But it's 1912, not 12 minutes past 7 and 24-hour clock. Lots of still frame stuff. And again, it's still got very much that mist-like control scheme. Well, someone's knocked on my door. I should probably answer it, but instead I'm going to examine stuff, because the last one had an intro and this one doesn't. So, I'll take the pen off my diary. So, April 28th, midnight. The journey from Toddy was painless and dull. Already I missed the scent of heather and the prickle of gorse. You don't. This Cornish landscape can never compare being soft and rounded like the limbs of a newborn. Scotland's Western Isles offer me so much more. The landscape fallen, like a corpse out of Lent, I will return to Toddy once my work here is done. That can never be too soon. Work. This is not work, just another humiliation. The Academy punishes me for my dreams. Perhaps my father is behind this new trial. I smell his envious mind at work. The coastline has been mapped several times over. Why would they send me here? As a qualified cartographer of Royal Academy, I'm not prepared to devote time to such a superfluous commission. I've already viewed the maps of this area and studied them during my journey. From one corner of the British Isles to the other, the train window allowed only the most scant view of our fair land, but it was little interest to me. My arrival at Plymouth was prompt, and under the cover of darkness I was collected by a salty fellow with the name of Spivey. Spivey? I did not expect fanfare, but a pony and a fish cart as transport is surprisingly basic. I'm sure the gentleman who commissioned my presence here would not travel in such a fashion. I suspect it was intended as another insult, so I went to great pains to hide my feelings. Perhaps when I meet with this man tomorrow, I shall learn whether he meant to insult me. What was his name? I have the letter here somewhere. And a nice picture of a cart. Ah, yes, Mr. Robert de Marion. He is the local doctor, and I believe he's highly regarded in these parts. Quite fitting I've got a Scottish accent if this person's meant to be Scottish. I only know this from Spivey, my travelling companion from Plymouth, so I cannot take much information at face value. I shall take a brief stroll to the harbour before retiring to bed. Oh, the strangest thing, a blink in the dark. I was standing on the harbour wall staring out to sea, and there it was, the most distant light shining in the gloom. A lighthouse. Most definitely a lighthouse. This is most strange. Why? Well, my friend, because there's no such lighthouse listed on the maps. Perhaps my work here is not as worthless as I suspected. I shall inquire about the lighthouse tomorrow. I have finished unpacking my case and equipment. This hut, barely 4 walls and a roof, is not displeasing to the eye, but is in need of some care and attention. I just hope the roof holds for the duration of my stay. A note was waiting for me in the bed. It seems Mr. Demarion would like me to join him for breakfast in the morning. That could be a most interesting meeting. Until then I shall sleep. The journey has exhausted my mind. Outside I can hear the lapping of the clear Cornish waters against the harbour walls. It lulls me to sleep. Whoop, more diary. Sorry, you're getting a lot of diary. Damn and blast, the dratted seagulls shattered my sleep. I had the dream again. On this occasion there was more to be seen and learnt, but my dream state was interrupted by those feathered fiends. Rats with wings. I do remember some details, but I wish for more. The stars, so bright this time, were alive, hurtling across the galaxies with the most unnatural force. I am no astronomer, but I recognised a few of the constellations. Darkness shattered by a great ball of flame. A meteor? A comet? No, it had the strangest shape, like a metal container or barrel. What the devil is it? Why does it haunt my dreams? Perhaps one day I will know. I saw something else too. A lighthouse. My observation of last evening could have prompted this new vision, but there was so little detail. I have checked the existing map again, and there is no mention of a lighthouse off this coast. I find this most suspicious. I shall dress and prepare for the day. Mr. Demarion expects me in 3 hours. This provides a little time for me to sketch. I shall set up my easel on the harbour front and enjoy the best part of the day. My new employer cannot deny me this opportunity. It looks to be a bright spring day. The woodland birds are singing and the sea is calm. It's time for my mind to explore and enjoy the town of Truerthen. I've triggered something. I've left the room, but there was other stuff for me to read. More diary, apparently. Oh. Oh. No, I don't know what's going on here. This. That looks like some sketches. Have I done something wrong? Do some sketches. Oh, it's a cat in a pub. That's definitely a thing I've looked at. Picture of a rabbit. A pasty recipe. Wonder if it's any good. There you go, recipe for pasties and cream teas. Some spuds, some meat, some more spuds and carrots. Mr. Demarion, as instructed, I've gathered additional supplies for the week. I trust your guests arrive safely and enjoy the supper I prepared. I'll return at 4 o'clock to bake some pasties and begin the evening. No, I'm not doing an accent, by the way. May I presume that there will be 2 of you dining this evening? Well, I will secure some fine bacon from Jones the butcher's, and we'll be collecting a fine fat duckling for this very afternoon. Should there be any special requirements, I pray your guest is not one of these heathen vegetarians. I would need to know upon arrival. Mrs. Agnew. P.S. I must also thank you for the kind words you offered young Beatrice. She has been terribly worried about James out there in that frightful lighthouse, and I do believe you put her mind at rest for that. I must thank you, kind sir. Some cheese. Blue cheese, but look at it. Some bottles. Jars of stuff. Some Devonshire fudge. The fishermen's arms are rife with gossip, the men chatter like the womenfolk of this town, whatever the world coming to. Then of course there's the nature of their prittle-pattle, the island. This will never do, I must put a stop to their speculation. The fools know nothing of the events unfolding out there in Fetch Rock. The latest item, a square card-like object, is made of the most curious material. It can bend but not break, yet it can be cut or scratched with the most blunt of instruments. It is remarkable. I have seen similar substance made from tree sap and molten materials, but never this smooth or so black. There's a small silvery metal disc placed in the back, which turns when a coin is inserted into it. On the front, the words Haddon Industries can be read quite clearly. Remarkable. I have searched the business directories and can find no mention of this company. Their title is quite grand, yet I can find no mention. I shall search the archives on my next visit to London. Haddon Industries. There may have an answer to the happenings at the Rock. At last I have a lead. Right, for those of you too young, I've nabbed that. That is a floppy disk, specifically a high density one, which means it will hold 1.44 megabytes of data. Before CDs and memory cards and stuff. I have discovered a small cavern at the base of the outer steps leading up to the White House. The summer sea winds have carried large waves inland, and the sandbanks were washed away. This is how I discovered my find. I have yet to venture into the gaping gash, as I had no suitable lighting on my person. I was also very wary of that Drake. Wolf or Shaw might see me from the tower. I could see movement inside the crew room and did not wish to be discovered. Where could this tunnel lead? It intrigues me so. The tunnel was dark and led into Fetch Rock, a mere few metres. It was this point that I discovered a rockfall prevents further exploration. Damnation, so near but so far. I also believe the tunnel held the answer to my questions. I will have to discover an alternative source of inquiry. I returned to the rock fall to photograph the gash. While digging in my bag for my camera, I dropped my storm lantern, which had lit my way. It was that moment I heard it, a pulse, like the devil's heartbeat itself. While I stood there in the chilling darkness, my head began to spin. The throbbing pulse began to change, and a new sound filled my head. It was a song, a rhyme. Over and over again, I could not locate the source of the sound, and groped about for the cave walls. That was when the markings appeared from out of the gloom. The walls were patterned with regular and uniform decoration. It throbbed in time with the sound, and I felt... You felt what? I guess that's all of that. Sorry, there will be more diary because I think when I examined the pictures. With the sun now setting in the sky and my painting complete, I shall return to my bed and let my mind rest until evening time. Breakfast was an interesting occasion. The house of my commissioner is right next to the hut and is called Reuben Cottage. Mr. de Moraine is not without intelligence. He and I enjoyed a game of chess accompanied by a rather fine brandy. He is both a writer and a man of science. In fact, he has a few journals and guidebooks to his name. I had no previous interest in the flora and fauna of this area, but his enthusiasm coaxed some genuine fascination. I took the opportunity to ask him while in good spirits about the lighthouse I saw from the harbour. A most unhealthy look passed across his face. It was most unnerving to witness. You would believe the fellow to have heard the death of a close friend, or a loved one. So strong was the reaction I did not hide my concern, but Demario insisted the brandy was disagreeing with his stomach ulcer. I did not believe a word of it. So I pressed the man again, and asked for the name of the lighthouse in question. He immediately rose from his chair, spilling his brandy on the table, and began to proceed towards the front door. How extraordinary! I was under the impression that he would have left me alone, without any reason for his departure. Finally, at the door, he turned and said a few words. Stay here, make yourself a home. I will return by nightfall. The unexpected event presented an opportunity to explore his home. It was all rather dull, except, and this is what I find strangest of all, there appeared to be much more to this man than meets the eye, like a transformer. Many of his notes and private correspondence were left laying around his living room. I am not a man to pry, but it seemed so odd to be laxed with one's private dealings. Oh, I lie to you, I did have a good poke around his kitchen. It was fascinating. Ha! I wonder what secrets and lies this gentleman is hiding. Anyway, I must talk about the work. My suspicions were unfounded. I do have work to do. The existing maps of this coastline are dangerously inaccurate, with many ships and vessels being lost to the shifting whip-tide sands. This natural formation of silt and sand is in constant motion and cannot be mapped accurately. For now it's time to sleep. Perhaps my dream will continue. I hope so. Before I rest, I must mention something witnessed today. Demarian has been collecting pebbles and shells and other detritus from the seashore. Some of it is mounted in his home, other items are being studied. It was one of his items that I wish to mention. A stone, smooth pebble in fact, was underneath a magnifying glass. When it looked closely it shone. This was no natural luminescence, it was, well, artificial. For some strange reason I believe this event has connections to my dream. Something not right here in Churtham. Now, I must sleep. There we go. Benjamin Parker, I'm guessing, is who we are. That would be the house. House with some weird hole in it. Some graves, maybe? Don't know. Anyway. Picture of a boat. Very nice picture of a boat. Is that something? That would be our bag. And some. What have we got? Cartographer stuff, maps and stuff. Nothing in here. Sorry, slight cough in the throat. And presumably here's all my cartographing stuff. So, painting of the shore. Nothing here is clickable.
Bring James home, I said. That lighthouse is cursed.
Oh, a character we didn't have last in the journal. I could have coughed, I could have covered myself in this. Guessing this is where I've come from. Oh, there's Rubens, that was the... I'm getting sorted. I wonder if that's a Doctor Who reference. The fisherman's arms into the pub. Lots of fireflies, but...
Who goes there?
Me?
Who goes there? Come closer, so that I can see you. Come in, Parker. I have a job for you, a job of the utmost urgency. Will you accept it? I am glad of your assistance, Parker. There is a most pressing matter that needs our joint attention. I have not been entirely honest with you with regards to the island known as Fetch Rock. You were right to suspect there is a lighthouse based out at sea, but I could not tell you of it.
Why? Yeah. Oh, this is Damarian, I'm guessing. Why did you mislead me?
A mild deception. There is often bad talk of the lighthouse in this town. I did not wish for you to encounter the superstitious nature of some of the townspeople. They can be most unpleasant when Fetch Rock enters conversation. Some believe the island to be cursed or even haunted. Even I now suspect there is more to that island than meets the eye.
Tell me more. You have piqued my interest.
The lighthouse was built by myself and men from the town back in 1890 to prevent the loss of life on the Whipside Sands.
Okay.
Over these last 22 years, that lighthouse has claimed more lives and caused more misery than can possibly be imagined by an untroubled man such as yourself.
I've seen bad time. Indeed,
I fear that tonight has brought the worst news of all. A ship, the Rebos, passed by Fetch Rock this very night and observed that the lamp of the lighthouse was not lit. No sign of life nor light was visible from the vessel. The fog is thick tonight and carries an unnatural chill. The lighthouse keepers would never allow such misadventure as to not warn the passing ships.
Has some misfortune before? Yeah. Who mans this mysterious lighthouse?
Oliver Drake, James Wolfe, and Robert Shaw are currently employed to man the lighthouse. All three men are of sound mind and spirit. You must travel to the lighthouse. A small boat has been prepared. You will need a few items from your cottage, which I am sure will be of use. Search around for them. Once you have them, you will be able to board the vessel and set off on your voyage.
Hidden? Why the mystery?
You get me wrong, young Parker. I only wish to keep our mission secret. There are those in these towns who suspect the worst. They must not know of this latest development. Keep to the shadows, and let no one interrupt your business. Now go. The fate of 3 men may be in your hands.
I thought it was good. Fish shop. Look how it's pictured. I think I should probably head back to my house first, shouldn't I?
Marion, he says he knows best, but what does he know?
Yeah, quite right. What items should I collect? Map of Cornwall. Lots of maps of Cornwall. Yes, I'm just clicking everything to see. A railing map of England and Wales. Sharp hook things.
Bring James home, I said. That lighthouse is cursed. Ooh, it's foggy.
You can see how they're using not climbing the ladders. Very foggy. Anything in here? Very nautical. single room. So I don't think... So I've read my diary. Unless there's something else I can get from that place in Cornwall that I can mysteriously teleport to through this diary. Maybe I can teleport away through a diary page, but... Yep, so unless I'm wanting to take some potatoes, or are those stones? Maybe those are stones. Nothing else in the pantry. Well. Nothing else here, so... See if the game will let me proceed without...
There's something under that old rock. They call it fetch for a reason.
I can't look up any of the place. Some of these, you know, you think there must be something here. I suppose some of them could just be colour. Nothing there. There's a cat again. Some stairs. A boat in the harbour. Guessing those are the lighthouse people. In the lighthouse. Another boat. That's where I'm living. Something at the Fisherman's Arms. More grim looking people from this era. They have pointy ears. Don't even know what I'm looking at in those ones. Go to the water. He's not a very good photographer. There's that cat again. Yep. Some apples. More scenes of that. Market. Well, I feel silly. There's an axe. Nice tree. More nice tree. There's the inside of the building I was in. A wheel. So what I will say is the direction finding this game is a bit suspect. After comparing my previous sketch with new photographs, I've made a discovery. The rock has grown, I'm sure of it. What could have the power? It's baffling. I believe there's a force and power working now, perhaps under the lighthouse, pushing the bowels of the earth. My recent visit to the island was productive. I arrived under the cover of darkness so as not to be seen departing from the harbour. The lighthouse guided me across the sands, but each visit became treacherous. Perhaps it would be better if I employed the services of someone younger and stupider. More adventurous myself. After comparing my previous sketch, that's just same two. That looks like a lighthouse. Ah, here we go.
Though 3 men dwell upon the island to keep the lamp alight, as we steered under the lee, we caught no glimmer in the night. A passing ship at dawn had brought the news, and quickly we set sail to find out what strange thing might ail the keepers of the deep sea light. We found no sign in any place, and soon again stood face to face before the gaping door, and stole into the room once more as frightened children steal. Aye, though we hunted high and low, and hunted everywhere, of the 3 men's fate we found no trace of any kind in any place, but a door ajar, and an untouched meal, and an over-toppled chair. We seemed to stand for an endless while, though still no word was said. 3 men alive upon the isle, who thought on 3 men dead.
Fetch rock from where? I didn't think I could leave you without having a wee look around the lighthouse. I promise you a lighthouse. the sinister. See, the problem is having worked night shift out of the middle of nowhere on the railway. This is all far too evocative for my taste sometimes. Ooh, an anemometer. There's the additional emergency lighting. Does it work? Have I fixed the lighthouse? Possibly not. Ah, that looks a bit more friendly. Here are some tools, ropes, with whatever that is. Potato. Maybe, no. Nothing here. There's the door we came in, I suppose. I think the thing with these games is you've got to kind of, I suppose it's an axe with a thing on it. You've got to keep checking around, because, yeah, see, I missed that key. Oh, can't pick it up anyway. There is a key there. Is that something moving? No, generator's working. Spanner. I guess I need a spanner from somewhere. So if there's anything in here. Oh, stairs. Something, or is it just a bit of the mechanism?
Somebody there. Please, help us. Please, help us.
Well, that's a thing. Waiting just in case oh, I can't. Because that was something I had to do maybe to get in.
Over here.
Yeah, that's in no way sinister or spooky. None of these things are a spanner. Sorry, it doesn't mean you need a spanner, it means you need the lantern. So middle right, prime the boiler, middle bottom top. Still not switched on the light though. I don't have to turn back here, have I? Oh yeah, creepy singing, that's always useful. I now know what spanner means you should use a thing, not... That's what we're going to do. It's a little bed frame. That's probably good. Yeah. That probably bodes ill. Oh, map of Cornwall. Probably nothing I can... Oh, so there's some, I'm guessing tides and stuff. Well, their jumpers are still there. Bird's missing. Why is the clock stopped? Where is the clock? Oh good, I can hide in here. I don't like the fact that I might need to. And there's another speaking tube there.
He's been waiting for you.
Oh, that's never good.
Why are you looking for us? There's no hope for us.
Some pictures. Looked at that.
What do you want with Robert Shaw? Why are you here?
The lamp is not lit.
Drake is coming. Drake is coming up the stair. Drake can see you. Drake will take you.
Well,
He's watching you. We tried as hard as we could. I barricaded the room, but it was too late. He was so strong. He was too strong. I tried to protect young James, but Drake was too strong. No, not Drake. The devil. A demon incarnate. Darkness in his eyes. His skin all aflame. From hell itself, he came forth and took my soul.
well, that's obviously a sign for us to keep moving. You're all suspicious about why you can look so closely at things like that. You know. Why can I examine that picture so closely? Oh, this is their bunk room. There is a story about a lighthouse. You know, it's one of those kind of unsolved mystery things where the keepers were never found, and someone's family. And you know, there was hot food on the desk and whatnot. And it's one of those things that I'm sometimes suspicious of is practical photography. Can I read practical photography? Apparently not. And yeah, it's kind of one of those stories that you quite often think how much of it is from the telling, you know, of oh, there's, you know, from yeah, there was a lighthouse and people went missing to oh, and you know, there was hot food on the table and Ghost Stories of Fetch Rock. It was a dark and stormy night. We found ourselves stranded on Fetch Rock. The lighthouse had been our faithful guide and drew us onto the beach. To the South Island. Frederick and I were returning from the weekend in Brittany when the storm chose to throw them its might against us. Our small vessel was battered, tossed, and thrown from the swell till I was sick to my stomach. Oh, we were relieved to see the light of the lamp gallery guiding us to safety. We made our way to the crew room, where the three kind souls provided soup and tea. Never has such a humble meal been more welcome. The keepers were kind fellows, a little slow perhaps, but their concerns were as genuine as any I'd ever known. Even cynical old Frederick had to admit that he thought the men generous. They must not get many visitors out here on this ancient rock. I suppose that is why Frederick asked the strange question, why is it called Fetch Rock? The eldest of the keepers seemed to tremble visibly when the question was put to him, and took a moment to answer. Fetch be Old English, sir, an old word for ghost. There be places with the names Fetch in them, like Fetchborough and Fetchurst. They be haunted places, sir. I'd never heard of such a thing, but Frederick looked rather alarmed. I say, are you all right, old man? I inquired. You look rather pale. Perhaps you've got a chill. Frederick nodded, but I could tell he was uncomfortable. To answer honestly, Keeper, are you saying this island, Fetch Rock, is haunted? The old keeper took a moment to answer, as if time itself would save him. I replied, but eventually said, Sir, once you've had your tea and the storm has eased, I suggest you leave this place and never come back. Fetch Rock is haunted, sir, by a foe no man could ever understand. You see, it just happens to be more than a ghost. Oh, that's all we've got. Yeah, I thought there'd be more ghost story. And candles there as well. Maybe that's that violin we keep hearing. Okay, that's Fetch Rock Lighthouse. Oh, that's all it's got here. Picture of someone baking. It's a picture of a town. How very nice. I'm going to listen to the speaking tube again.
Drake went mad. He went mad, all alone, and scared. I know what he found. I know his name. He's here now, listening to what we say.
Onward and upwards. Again, wait a minute, is that? No, that's all the pictures do have these green tags on them. Of the lighthouse, but look at it, maybe not. Nothing in here that we can examine. Oh, Drake's room. Combination lock. Oh, it's getting back in. Well, I thought we'd at least want to get to the top of the lighthouse. It's not making the lighthouse go on, but you know, who hasn't wanted to go in a foghorn? the foghorn. Right, I think I'm going to leave it there. I think that's got plenty of time. We've had a bit of freaking out in this, so I think we'll leave it there. What I am going to do is save my progress, because this is one we could maybe return to on another Halloween. Maybe not next Halloween, but maybe not sometimes. So all that remains for me to say is I hope you enjoyed the video. I hope I've managed to cut something workable together with my skippings to walkthroughs and occasionally entertaining a cat. Again, if you like this sort of thing, I have played through all of Myst. Do please like and subscribe to the channel. Mostly I'm playing Star Trek Online, but I'm going to try and start bringing a few more games in, so hopefully if you find this sort of thing interesting, I might be looking at more puzzle games and exploring games like this. I've got a couple of ideas in my head at the moment, just enthusiasm getting around to recording them. But yes, please do have a look at my back catalogue. And once again, I hope you enjoyed watching it, and I hope to see you next time. But until then, bye for now.